Hi, everyone. Welcome to New American Youth Ballet Presents. I'm your host, Elizabeth Flores, with my daughter, Camila, and we are coming in all the way from Nigeria with the Leap of Dance Academy. And thank you so much. I'm here with the founder, Danielle Owagoshi Asala. I hope I said that correctly. And his two beautiful dancers, Daniela and Precious. So thank you guys so much for taking a Saturday afternoon.
Thank you.
And joining us with our time difference and everything going on. So Danielle, can you please share with me how you started this and a little bit about your thinking and your teaching method?
What inspired me was to actually reach out to students or children rather that can't afford the luxury of dance education, because of course ballet and dancing in general is very expensive, and in this part of the world where we are, it's very not accessible to have dance education to the level at which we can see internationally. So I wanted to be the bridge where people can actually get such quality education.
This dance academy, especially for ballet, was it well received in your neighborhood? Did people understand what you were trying to do?
When we started, it wasn't acceptable. It wasn't well received because a lot of people were very much of like, this isn't African and this isn't what we should be doing. We should be promoting our own culture, our own indigenous dances. And why are you actually promoting a foreign culture? I want to be somebody who can bring something new to the table. I don't want to rely on the old systems and just to like what everybody's doing. And that's why I chose ballet among other styles of dancing. Even when I didn't know what I was doing, but I knew that, okay, I could just move my arms, I could watch videos on YouTube and match it up with Google PDF files and just move through it and just dance and just be happy. That was like my major aim, that's my major focus at that time. So whatever people were saying at that time wasn't really, very, very much a distraction to me, but rather it was something that really propelled me to do very well.
You felt compelled to do this. This is like what you're meant to do.
Yes.
And for your own training, you researched and you self-taught how to teach and classical ballet. What are some of your go-to videos that you trained by?
Well, I just look at some ballet from the American ballet theater.
Yeah.
Just look at their ballet classes, ABT schools. I look at Vaganova classes. I look at the RAD, the Royal Ballet School. I just look at the company classes. I always like to watch all the company classes every year for World Ballet Day. I literally look at different ballet schools abroad or any instructional videos on YouTube. But what I do is that when I see this on Google PDF files, I match what I see there. For example, if I see how to do a plie, I go to Google and just YouTube and just say, how do I do a plie? And of course, YouTube has been a very, very go-to source, has been very, very helpful. So it really helped me to see how to do these things, But as it was the best thing I've ever done for myself. And thanks and of course YouTube, it's very amazing for me.
It's really cool that you're it's like you're a trendsetter in many different ways. And it seems like since that video, I think of your student Anthony doing those turns out in the rain, I think he had no shoes on, still doing those Alice at Cone turns and like a variation, that went viral. And then was that sort of your break into the dance community where people started sitting up and noticing what you're doing?
Would not really say that was like our major breakout season, because prior to that time, in 2017 when we actually came out, we had like lots of people who reached out to us. I was actually on a Facebook group where I actually told a lot of people that I'm opening a dance school and I would like them to please donate dance shoes and dance costumes to us.
Yes.
So in 2017, we have been able to have like a bit of some international partnership, like traveling tutus and some very individual and private bodies send us dance costumes and shoes from all over the world. So, you know, when that video went out, it just made people, oh, that's the school that reached out to us some time ago about dance costumes and all of that. So it just gave up more, I think it gave up more light,
yes,
than what we had before. But it was a very, very great platform to actually reach out to more people, because of course we were just doing our thing in our local community and just doing it how we can. And you know, this has just not become something local, but has become a global sensitization of making people know that do not complain, just work hard. Some
yes,
people do not have what you have, and try your best to make sure that you are the best at what you do. And of course, in a situation and condition which we train, lots of people can actually train in that same condition. But look at what we're producing.
yes.
Very amazing dancers, a very amazing, you know, results of what we do. And that alone is the best of what we do. And that's like, that gives us a pat on our back that if we are in a better studio or in a better condition, we can do better.
Now, is your studio in your home? I've seen videos of you at an indoor studio, and then you dance outside. And did you dance outside because you needed more space, or also with the pandemic? How did that affect you as a school?
Well, I think for us, because we live in a very small community, so it wasn't like the pandemic didn't affect us in any way. Rather, it made us to work harder. You
really love ballet. You want to bring ballet and have people understand it. I think
yes,
that is so cool and so inspiring, because of, you know, just that the raw passion and love of it. I think will I think certainly I want to see you both dance. I think your students will probably take on that torch as well, right? And bring dance to more parts of the country. And and can I ask your students a couple of questions? Daniela, can I start with you?
Yes.
You call, how do you refer to your teacher? Mr. Asala? How do you address your teacher? By first name?
No, we just usually call him Mr. Daniel.
Okay. Is Mr. Daniel a strict teacher?
No, he's not very strict. He can be strict sometimes. Like if we're not doing the right thing, he can be very, very strict.
Very, very strict.
That's the best kind. And Precious, sometimes when I watch the videos, especially when you're dancing outside, I'm sorry, I love chickens. And sometimes I see a chicken in the shot. Is that frequent, like in the neighborhood? Are there a lot of like stray chickens? And does that ever distract when you're trying to do a variation? Or is that just kind of part of how it is outside?
No. It makes everywhere feel lively and beautiful. It makes everywhere feel lively and beautiful. The chickens.
I love it. I think it's so cool. Back to you, Daniela. What is your favorite ballet variation that you've learned so far? What do you enjoy dancing?
My favorite ballet variation was Pharaoh's Daughter. how to express myself more, and it taught me a lot of things. I really love doing that variation.
And it's not a common variation, the Pharaoh's Daughter. That's really nice that you're reaching into other areas of ballet that a lot of people haven't learned. And how about for you, Precious? What is your favorite variation that you've learned so far?
My favorite variation is Esmeralda.
Nice.
Esmeralda is talking about beauty, courage of yourself. So I love the way Esmeralda variation is, because I can carry myself, express myself very well. Yes.
And how did you both find out about Mr. Danielle and his ballet school and his program? How did you both come to dance? First, Daniela.
Well, I first saw Anthony dancing on the street in front of his mom's shop. So I told my mom that I want to learn what he's doing. Like, I love the way he's doing it. I want to be a part of it. Then he introduced me to Leap of Dance Academy. Then I met Mr. Daniel. When I first started dancing, I was very, very shy. In fact, the first day I walked into that place, I was like, wow, I saw a lot of people and I'm not used to crowd. So I was very, very scared. But Mr. Daniel, over the years, he has encouraged me, pushed me, make me work very hard in achieving my goals.
And how old are you?
I'm 13 years old.
So how you started not very what year did you start? How many years ago did you start training?
3 years ago.
Wow. And how about you, Precious?
Mr. Daniel and my mother are doing a business together. Like they work together they're doing catering business. And my mom came one day and introduced ballet to me. I went to Leap of Dance Academy and I saw them dance, and I love the way they move their body, and I decided to join Leap of Dance Academy.
Nice. And how long have you been studying?
3 years ago.
Wow. Well, I've seen you both on some of the videos, and you're both beautiful. And so you have a wonderful teacher. And
Thank you so much.
And it looks like what you're doing with your research online is you're filtering the best and sharing it with your students. And it's funny because a lot of people might say, oh, you need this and you need that to be a proper ballet dancer, but you're going right to the heart of what's correct. I mean, you're doing some wonderful, wonderful things. Maybe sometime we could do some sort of collaboration or classes together. We would love to join forces in whatever way we can.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And tell me, Danielle, how can people help your school? What is the best way for you to get what you need, get the resources you need? What's the best way for people to help?
Well, I think one of the best way I think is the most resourceful way for us to learn, or for anybody to help us, is through learning. Because of course, if you give us food, it makes us grow. Because education, it stays forever with us. So yes. I think that one of the best things that anyone can actually do to help Leap of Dance Academy is to educate our dancers through in-person or Zoom classes. Because it's going to be very, very nice for the girls here to actually come over to the NAYB, to actually learn. It's going to be nice that NAYB also comes down to Nigeria also to learn. So I think the best support you can give to us is to educate us more, to support us by, taking our dancers and training them that this is what you should do. Because of course, there's a little about I can do because I'm actually self-trained, and so there's a level of finesse that is expected for modern day ballet, which I might not be able to give. But if I am able to come to be under your tutelage or my students have the opportunity to actually learn from you, it gives them more than I'm giving them, because at this point they've learned so much under my wings, and I think it's best for someone who is more knowledgeable than myself to pick up on where I stopped, so that they are not limited, you know, because like I said, there's a level at which I could go because I'm self-trained. But for someone like you who has a wealth of experience, who know people of influence, who can actually help grow these girls and boys in the school, that's what the help is talking about. That's what the support is talking about. Not just oh, they don't have a studio, they need to have a studio. We can have a studio but still produce whack dancers. But we don't want to produce whack dancers. We want to be able to produce students who can actually represent Nigeria internationally, not because they are a charity project, but because they know how to do ballet and they can do it very well, like every other child in the room. That's what I'm talking about, support. Yes.
But we would love to be involved. We absolutely would love to be involved and offer classes or training. And I do a lot of interviews with Elizabeth Byer, actually coaches Camila. She won. Elizabeth Byer. We see her every week.
Precious was actually rehearsing her Esmeralda.
Really? Yeah, she's the one. We did an international Nutcracker. And we had her for our Sugar Plum Fairy. And so I do a lot of interviews, especially with American Ballet Theater. We interviewed the orchestra conductor, Skylar Brandt, Tom Forrester, a lot of the principals, and we continue to do so. So I can take what I know. I'd be happy to give you guys class, maybe Camila, like you can combine something, coordinate schedules. And then maybe sometime when I have these master teachers, we can talk and work out ways where you can get, your master classes. These are connections that would be very exciting to make together. Yeah, let me have Camila maybe come in and ask you guys a few rapid fire questions, if that's okay. And,
okay, that's fine.
And then maybe if we have some time, the three of you can dance together. Maybe you can give me a combination that you typically do in class. Come on over.
Okay, so Allegro or Adagio?
Adagio.
Mr. Daniel?
I think it depends on what I'm trying to do. If I want to give them some fires in their bones, Allegro.
And Precious? Allegro or Adagio?
Allegro. Bar or center?
I think for me is the bar. I still need to work more with the bar.
Mr. Daniel?
Well, because I'm the teacher, bar and center.
There you go. I'd high five you right over there. And Miss Precious?
Center.
Center floor.
Dream ballet role.
Pharaoh's daughter.
Okay. And Mr. Daniel?
Well, because I never got the opportunity, but I think I like what's the name? Basilio.
Don Quixote.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Exactly.
And Precious.
Clara.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. Dogs or cats?
Mm.
Oh. Dogs.
I don't like any of them. I like chickens.
Oh, it's okay. I'm right there with you.
Dogs.
Dogs. Okay.
What's the hardest concept to teach dancers?
If you miss it at the very introductory level, that's the end for the dancer. It might be very hard to correct. The foundational stage, a teacher makes it very wrong from the foundational stage. It might be a very, very bad dance experience for the entire life of the dancer. And like I was telling the students earlier today, I said, you don't start building a house from the top.
Yes.
You start from the bottom.
Yes. Well said.
So we need to always, meaning that you have to always go back to the basics. Always go back to basics. So that's why I think that the introductory stage is the hardest concept of teaching a dancer. Where you have to learn how to do this, how to do that. But a lot of people like to teach well advanced dancers, but I love to teach very, very beginners level because I'm kind of I love to teach. I love to see progress. I love to see transitioning. So that's why I think I love that stage of dancing. But more professional dancers, they already have everything. They're already the finished product. So I think it's best to actually have dancers who are just learning from beginning. And that's why I love teaching most.
Nice, great answer. And
Thank
our final question that's very important.
Oh, favorite ice cream flavor.
Vanilla.
Mr. Daniel?
Gelato, gelato. Oh my God. I like in Italy we say gelato like it's buon appetito. Like it's so
And what flavor? What flavor gelato?
well, I like a mixture of different flavors, you know. Like literally, you know what I like? Literally, I like have like different things like in my ice cream. So I like the confusion in taste, you know. So nice.
And Francis?
Caramel.
What kind?
Caramel chocolate light.
Caramel.
Caramel. Perfect. Perfect. Mr. Daniel, would you share with Camila and your students maybe a typical combination we would find in your class? What is your favorite combination bar or center that you like to do? Camila can
Well,
get along with you guys.
I think. I think because we were learning something today, I think it's going to be very nice to actually learn it together. Which
Okay.
was what I'm thinking about. It's just very simple. Start from croisé, échappé, pas de bourrée, échappé, pas de bourrée, changing of corners. Do you want to see that in demonstration?
Sure. Beautiful. And I will let you know when I edit this together and we air it on Manhattan Neighborhood Network.
I'm very
Would
grateful.
love to dance with you guys more.
Thank you.
Thank
It was
you
so
so
nice
much.
to actually share today with you.
We had a
Thank you
wonderful
so
time.
much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks so much for watching New American Youth Ballet Presents. Come see us each week on mnn.org on the Lifestyle Channel, where we interview high-quality dancers and artists from all over the world every Sunday 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, New American Youth Ballet Presents. See you next week.